Good evening and welcome to the award-winning Sporting Life here on 93.1 LifeFM. We have a special guest in studio today. The FAI's Dave Bell will be joining us, and also between now and 7 o'clock Rob Armstrong will be looking ahead to Munster's clash with London Irish, and we'll be previewing the Premier League and the playoffs in the NFL in the USA. As always, you can text the show on 086 7293 with your views or comments on any sporting matter. We're going to start today with a message that came into us from Douglas J Club. They asked us to call out that their AGM will be on this Wednesday in the Club Pavilion, and also, of course, as we said last week, the Cork Women's Schoolgirls Soccer League AGM will be on next Thursday, the 27th of January, in the Vienna Woods Hotel. Dave, delighted to have you back in the station. It's been about a year, I'd say, since you were here with Peter. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for inviting me.
No problem. We'll just start maybe with the women's soccer. We got an award here during the week on Monday from the FAI for the coverage of women's soccer. You're heavily involved, obviously, as part of your job with women's soccer. How do you think things have improved since you came in probably about 2 years ago, I'd say, was it?
Well, believe it or not, it's going on for the fourth year now, but so it's passed really quickly. And I've seen a massive development in the women and girls soccer since I've been here, and the development has been all for the good. And now what they're doing at the FAI, they're actually bringing it under a similar basis as the boys' emerging talent and the boys' league centres. So the development will get even better now. So and as you can see in Cork now, I think that we've probably got about a dozen internationals now at underage level, which is great, and it's never been seen before. So, and we hope to develop even more. And I'm quite confident that a bulk of the under-17s and under-19s now will come from this area.
Yeah, we had an awards night there on a Tuesday just for the Cork Women's League for players who've made their international debut in the past, I think it was maybe 2 years, and there was 11 underage players. So we were kind of saying that day that we had the full setup, although there was two keepers, but I'm sure one of them will play outfield. So that's obviously good. That's a huge number. About maybe 5 or 6 years ago, when we did this, it was one person and maybe two people if we were lucky. But Dave, you're involved in, just I supposed to go through the structures. There's the League Centre of Excellence out in CIT, which is maybe the first outside of club football for girls. Then the Emerging Talent, which you're running actually later on to this evening, and then you have your Gainer Cup and the international level, hopefully. So maybe just take us through maybe the League Centre and the Emerging Talent, what the girls learn there and what's expected of them.
Well, the league centres are a basis really to get what the league feels are the better players in, to coach them over a couple of months, have a look at them, and hopefully develop the players. Now, the league has been given the responsibility, and I think that's a good thing now, to actually select girls to come to the emerging talent who they feel are the better players. And once they do come to the emerging talent, it's up to myself and the coaches with me to develop them onto an international status now. Now, we have been discussing recently that we're going to do something similar to the boys, is where before they get into the international stage, there will be development squads. So they'll get into a development squad, then move on to the international stage. So there's another tier now, and I feel that's an important tier, and it's worked very, very well with the boys' emerging talent. So hopefully that'll go ahead this season, and we'll probably be seeing even more girls then get into the development squads. And once they've got into them, and they'll do the similar to what the boys did, because I was lucky enough this year to check the boys under 18 development squad across to England. None of them really had international experience, or none of them have been taken by clubs since then. I think 7 or 8 have been picked up by the clubs, and 6 or 7 of them have picked up international experience from that. So it's a great learner, and hopefully that'll go ahead, and that'll be a development to get onto the international stage. And
would they be regionalised squads, or are they full national development squads?
They're looking at both. They're looking for regionalised development, maybe a north and a south, and hopefully that we'll have a national development squad.
Very good. And of course you're off on a trip next week.
I am, yeah.
A very important trip, which a lot of work will be done at, I presume.
Of course. I've been lucky enough to go across with the national managers who are on the next week to Norway, and we'll be looking at how Norway developed the women and girls players, and as you can see, they're quite high up in the world now with their rankings. Also, there will be England as well, who have done extremely well, over the past few years, and definitely gone up the rankings, and Denmark. So there'll be 4 countries together discussing the way ahead for women and girls football.
Great. Now we've a text in on 0867 200 931. It says, it's great Dave's so involved with the girls. He's a fantastic coach. Will his time be limited now with the layoffs in the FAI, and will this affect girls soccer?
I just had an appraisal today, and I've been told by my area manager that no, it won't. It's going to be a very, very important part now of my job, and hopefully I'll be able to carry on like I've done before, and maybe a little bit more work in helping to develop, because as you know, Carol, who does a lot of good work at the time, who was our women's development officer, unfortunately lost her position. So a lot of the workload will be on myself and Stephen O'Mahony now to help develop the girls go through.
Great stuff. Just maybe, Dave, you obviously played. You played across Channel.
I did, yeah.
In Bristol, I believe, was your first club, was it?
No, my first club was Blackpool all them many years ago, and I don't tell you what I got paid, but it wasn't. It was in pounds, shilling, and pence, so it's that long ago.
It wasn't what their Premier League stars are on at the moment.
Not at all. No, I'm obviously a little older now, and the wages I got was a working man's wage, because it was low division clubs, but I never take that away. I've enjoyed myself, and then persevered with it and became a coach, and probably had a good coaching career at many of the clubs. What
do you make of Ian Holloway's Blackpool team at the moment?
Well, I was lucky enough to be Ian's youth and reserve coach at Bristol Rovers for about 2 years, nearly 2.5 years. And I know him very well, and his enthusiasm gets through to the players, and that's very, very important. And I'm quite sure that as he's gone along in his career, he's learnt more and more about the coaching side, and he looks to have got his techniques and his tactics of his players in respect of doing well in the Premier League. How can I say, the best it can be, and he's getting results, and I'm sure that his enthusiasm, it goes down to the players, and I think that helps.
So you were playing with Blackpool, and you moved on to Bristol then, is it?
No, I went to Blackpool, and then to Rochdale, then to Bury. Bury, I became a coach at Bury. I spent about 8 years at Bury, coaching the reserves, the youth, the centre of excellence, and running all their football development. So it was a great time for me. And then I got offered a job with the Professional Footballers Association, which I thought, well, it's about time, because I was about 38, 39 then, and I thought, well, is there time now to sort of move on? And I enjoyed it very much, and I was in charge of all the football development for all the clubs in the southwest of England and Wales, whether it be a Premiership or whether it be a Championship, first or second division. And I enjoyed that immensely, but Russell Osman, who was the manager at the time at Bristol City, spoke to me and offered me the chance to return as one of the coaches there. So I missed it, and I moved to Bristol City, spent some time there, moved to Cardiff City, and that's when Ian met me when I was at Cardiff City, because I'm a tutor assessor for the A and B licences, and I was checking Ian for his B licence, and he offered me the job at Bristol Rovers, so I went back to Bristol Rovers.
Dave, we've a bit of a random text in here.
Yeah.
It says, Dave sounds a bit like Gary Barlow. Is he from Manchester?
I am really, yeah, because my roots are in and around Bury, so yeah, I would say yes, definitely.
We'll try and get Gary Barlow on next week and see if how similar they sound.
I have a friends of mine there, a Cork lad I work with. He's married to a girl from Bury. Her uncle actually played with Liverpool, Alec Lindsay.
Alec Lindsay, yes.
Alan would be her father. And Alan played as well.
And Alec Lindsay actually started his career at Bury, believe it or not.
That's right. I was at Bury a few years ago at Gig Lane when Brian Barry Murphy was playing there.
Very famous left-hand sided player, Alec Lindsay.
I was laughing about the accent, because I often say to Kay, you have the same accent as Peter Kay, and she said, yeah, totally different. He's from Bolton. I said, it's only 8 miles, totally different accent.
Yeah. So. If you went over there, you would know the difference in the accents. Yeah.
We'll come back.
We'll go back to the sport now, Chris.
There is a few texts coming in. We'll get to them in a second. Dave,